Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. We are back in it. Morning, Paul. Hey, Bill. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it should be an interesting week. Yeah, looks like we already got through the news this morning. Seeing if there's anything else today. And no. Should be no other scheduled news today, at least. And I did roll over contracts. So we're on the September contract now. Still a little bit slow. Good morning, Ron. I need to reload this data. This looks a little funky to me. Good morning, Squid. Still reloading my chart. Yeah, this is always a weird day. Contract rollover. Like, okay, which contract has more volume? What point do you switch over? Once we reloaded this chart, we might get a better idea. Good morning, Roberta, Squid, Mike, VK, TDL, Yas, Dimitri, good morning. Excellent question. Passing evals on Apex. You're asking about using the strategy on a funded account. First of all, it's against the rules for a funded account, so can't do that. And guaranteed result is not a phrase that exists in trading, so that's the other thing. There's no such thing as a guaranteed result. So better to, it's a little trick for evals. just to get to the funded stage better. But the best thing you can do now is learn how to trade. Good morning, Archer. All right, so this chart is looking much more normal now that I reloaded. It looks like we have an uptrend that's already played out. Move up here, break, new high. So as we approach the open, we would anticipate correction to the downside. The Nasdaq actually looks like it's still in play here, and the market's open. So if we get a setup on the NQ, I'll consider going long. I'm going to delete all my drawings. They're going to be all jacked up with the contract rollover. But it does look like we corrected right off of previous day's high. All right, so it looks like NQ is reaching a new high. We did not get a setup there to take that long. Over on ES, we also reached a new high, and yeah, that Friday's high level's right there. Oh, pretty possible that we're gonna try up and test that. Toad, yeah, I did already switch. I am on the September contract. Yeah, it's a good note, Archer. It's usually a very slow day on contract rollover day, and we also have just a very what should be an interesting week. So contract rollover gonna make it likely pretty slow. We have the FOMC on Wednesday, so oftentimes we just slowly drift into that number. Plus, the FOMC itself is not likely to be giving any results. The Fed has been pretty hawkish. The most likely result for this FOMC is no change at all, which I don't think the market's going to react to because that's what's expected. They're looking to cut rates in September, so September is likely going to be a little bit more of a volatile reaction, whether or not they cut rates. This Wednesday, probably not so much. And then we have a trading holiday the very next day on Thursday for Juneteenth. So then we come back on Friday, and there's no econ news on Friday. So it's shaping up to be a very slow week, I would assume. If we get any action, it's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a bonus. But I think you can expect going into this week, expect some pretty dull action. But we'll see. Right now, uptrend technically played out. We're waiting to see if the bears can do anything. So far, not. And we also have previous day's high right above us. But fortunately, both indices are moving the same. We're expecting the same things right now. They're both at a key level. Both have uptrends that are played out. Waiting for the bears to at least make an attempt to do something. If they don't, and if we get through Friday's high, then we'll look to find, some sort of larger channel or a secondary channel or something. Bill, good morning. Welcome to the channel. No, not using the 5-minute time frame. Using a tick chart, which you can see here at the top of my trading platform and also in the description of the video. NQ right on Friday's high. It's looking like it may want to pop over, but doing so very slowly, that's for sure. Again, we'll have to confirm above this high. Or we're taking a long or playing a larger channel. You'll notice too that the S&P has not gotten over Friday's high. The Q's still above that level for now. ES has not gotten there. And again, we are expecting the bears to make an attempt to sell the market. Make sure you guys are liking the stream this morning as we wait to see something from the market. And the channel we'll look at if this keeps going up is something along these lines. Need that confirmation first though. You don't want to be too early on a channel like that because it could really bite in the butt. Hey, Michael. Good morning. ES definitely looks like it wants to roll over here. Now we're testing it. If NQ keeps going up, again, we'll be looking at some sort of channel to map out the price action, something along these lines, but still got to be patient there. Another bearish bar on the Qs. And ES, a little downturn at that key level. Oh, popped up again. Buyers are engaged here, guys. So now both indices are above the high of Friday. We just need to see them hold on a retest. Nasdaq technically held, as it had already broken above here. That's that hold. So Nasdaq is looking pretty confirmed. ES is the very first time we were breaking above here, so we're gonna need to see that retest hold, and then we can trust it and draw a secondary channel and, you know, fully lock into the bullish bias. Just absolutely crawling price action. Not a whole lot of get up and go to the market here. Yeah, Mike, this whole month has been pretty slow, I would say. A lot of patience has been required. Fortunately, we had a really good couple of months previous to that, so if you traded it right, you should be managing some profits and just trying to hold on to them through this month. All right, so this is looking good for the S&P. Nice push up. We didn't fully retest that level, but, you know, good enough. We'll play this wider channel, secondary channel here, and we are going to be looking for longs. In Q, I've also got something along these lines. I especially like the action on NQ. Okay, we're looking for that pullback here. And then we can hopefully get an entry. All right, here's a little bit of pullback on ES. We don't want this to be too vertical. We don't want to blow through the EMA. So far, this pullback looks pretty decent. It hasn't, yeah, we had one long candle, but it hasn't had any follow through. So we're just watching this moving average. We don't want that to, we want it to act as some sort of as support. We don't want this thing to just slice through it. NQ, we still have not really gotten a pullback at all. Even when ES put in that long red candle, NQ did not. But this bullishness is looking really good, guys. We have no reason to think about selling at all. Mark out some key levels. It looks like we'll be coming up next to Thursday's high. And beyond that, Wednesday's high. I don't know if these are all screwed up because of the contract rollover though. But anyway, several key levels right around here. See if the market can just keep chugging higher. And Q looks like it may have a pullback coming. It's looked like that for a while though. So this is appearing like it's going to be one of those trends that just keeps crawling higher, or very hard to find an entry. We will likely have to take a less than ideal entry, because so far this is looking like any tiny little pullback is going to get eaten up. Mike asking how far are we away from the all-time high. Still quite a ways. I think like 130 points on the S&P, something like that. All right, we are getting close to that moving average. We'll see what the action looks like around it. Here is the top of our move. So we're wanting a pullback, one attempt higher, and a second pullback, and that's when we'll get long. All right, well, we didn't. This is really the first attempt higher here. We had a pullback. This is really the first attempt higher. I would need to see that second pullback. Right, there's a new high, and it looks like we're going to be headed to Thursday's high here. The channel is still valid. We're still looking for an entry here. Over on NQ, we still haven't touched the EMA since that breakout over Friday's high. Either way, we got to be patient. You don't want to enter in right as the market's rolling over. Need some confirmation. There's the power of positive thinking, Ron. It's going to be a positive trading day. Christine, what is the box called? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Are you talking about the channel? This? That's all it is. It's just a channel. It's like a trend line with two sides. All right, there goes ES. Getting to Thursday's high now. Let's see if Nasdaq has a similar level. Looks like it does. Oof, so close there. I will likely take a pretty aggressive entry if we pull back. I may even take a first entry, as this is a strong bullish trend. So I do need a pullback of some sort. You don't want to just like buy on the high. But this is beginning to be the kind of trend where you need to be a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, Javi, the contract rollover gets a little funky when it comes to the highs and stuff. It's probably better to look at a chart of like SPY or something. Cause yeah, it gets all funky. On SPY, yeah, it looks like we are testing a little bit above Thursday's high. So about the same as it is on the ES. But if you had lines drawn previously, I would delete those. All right, there goes ES, making a move above that high as well. NQ looks like it's right on it. I'm going to check QQQ to see if it's the same with all the contract rollover nonsense. Yep, it looks like it is right there, testing Thursday's high. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the name of the game today is to get long. Just wait for a little pullback, look for a decent setup, and yeah, this is a day to pull the trigger. So hopefully this can continue. It doesn't look like it has any signs of rolling over. So you don't have to worry about that unless all of a sudden you get a massive candle or something. But even that, if you have a massive candle and it gets erased in the next couple of bars, you're good to go. So yeah, I'm going to switch over to Discord for the rest of the day. We'll be hunting some setups. If you are not part of that community, it should be the first link, I believe, in the description down there. Look forward to seeing you guys over there. And yeah, we'll have an interesting week. We'll cross our fingers for some decent price action with a shortened week because of the holiday, FOMC, etc., etc. Yeah, not expecting a lot, but you never know what could happen with the market. That's how it goes. So have a great day, everybody. Appreciate y'all. See you tomorrow. Later.